Well, hello, everyone. We hope your week is off to a great start. Thanks for watching THV 11 News at noon. I'm Amanda Jaeger. Let's start the second half of your Monday here with a first look at your weather forecast. We have meteorologist Nathan Scott joining us here in studio. Some people woke up to rain this morning in southern Arkansas. Is that going to continue, or are we kind of fizzling out?
Well, those were the changes that we want to enter into the picture, Amanda, because cold front is moving through. Remember, back on Friday, it was already into the low 90s at this time. Saturday was brutal. Sunday, a little bit better. Today, even better in the temperature department, and also lower humidity trying to filter its way in. Look at visible satellite. The clouds down to the south. The trend will be for clearing skies moving in from north to south throughout the day. So here are the temperatures because those clouds holding the numbers into the 70s in South Arkansas, but where you've seen the sun, you've warmed up into the low 80s. Radar loop showing that scattered rain still dotting the landscape into South Arkansas. No lightning showing up. This is primarily just some light rain moving through Ouachita County, Calhoun, Bradley counties, entering its way into Drew County. So the best chance of scattered rain will be for South Arkansas through the course of the afternoon. Now, with that said, there will be potential. We could see isolated pop-up shower storm late this afternoon into this evening for the rest of us here in central Arkansas. That does include the metro, as a weak upper level disturbance will be swinging its way through. Here's your forecast today. You can't complain about this. Temperatures below average. Many locations will stay below 90 degrees, highs into the mid to upper 80s. It's going to be even nicer on our Tuesday. More on that forecast later.
More people are getting vaccinated in Arkansas, but we still can't seem to put the brakes on our state's surge in COVID cases and hospitalizations, setting up to a huge week to determine what this upcoming school year could look like. So first, let's get you caught up with the 3 things you need to know to start off the week. When we look at the numbers, we continue to see daily spikes in cases. In fact, 10 of the past 11 days, we've seen over 1,000 new daily cases. In that 11-day span, our state is averaging more than 2,200 daily cases. This is taking a serious toll on hospitals. And that gets us to number 2. In the last 2 weeks, we've seen the number of hospitalizations go up more than 60%, with more than 1,100 Arkansans currently battling COVID-19 from a hospital bed. And many of those patients are needing serious care. The number of Arkansans relying on a ventilator to breathe is up nearly 100% in that same period. And with a shortage of staff, this is becoming increasingly difficult for healthcare workers. And lastly, we have good and bad news when it comes to the vaccine in Arkansas. Despite a good turnout of people getting the shot, NPR is reporting 80,000 doses of our state's COVID-19 vaccine expired over the weekend. Right now, 41% of Arkansas's eligible population is fully vaccinated. Arkansas remains the 3rd worst state when it comes to our vaccine rate. President Biden receives a briefing this afternoon from members of the White House COVID-19 response team as the virus continues to surge. The U.S. recording more than 194,000 new cases in a single day on Friday, the most since late January. Skylar Henry reports from the White House.
New data shows COVID-19 hospitalizations have tripled nationwide since last month, mostly because of the highly transmissible Delta variant and those who still refuse to get vaccinated.
What we have to be ready to do is increase our vaccination pace while we are using mitigation measures, including wearing masks.
Missouri is one of the hardest hit states. Doctors there say they're seeing more kids with COVID.
We are seeing more severe disease, and some patients are being admitted to the intensive care unit.
I didn't know how, honestly, it was going to turn out. He was really sick.
Ashley Henderson's 7-year-old son is among those hospitalized with COVID.
He actually woke up about 2 a.m. With a pretty significant fever, just not feeling well, was real flushed, real fatigued.
The Delta variant now accounts for 82% of all U.S. cases. In Florida over the weekend, cars lined up at vaccination sites as the state hit its highest single-day total with more than 21,000 new cases reported Saturday.
The CDC changed its mask guidance last week after new evidence showed that even vaccinated people can still spread the virus.
For people like me who are parents with unvaccinated children at home, it's an especially helpful step that we can take to help protect those of us, who have family members who are vulnerable still.
Health officials stress the chances of fully vaccinated people getting severe illness or dying from COVID remain extremely low. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
Out of the nearly 165 million Americans who have been fully vaccinated, only about 0.1% have tested positive for the virus, and the vast majority of them were either asymptomatic or experienced mild symptoms. One of the big stories we're following this week, the mask mandate debate in Arkansas. Tomorrow morning, lawmakers will meet for a special session to discuss amending a law banning mask mandates in the state. The law, which went into effect last week, has received major blowback from schools and parents. Recently, the CDC issued new guidance for schools recommending students and staff who aren't fully vaccinated continue to wear masks. Arkansas's Health and Education Department released similar school safety guidelines last week. Dr. Joel Tumlison with the Arkansas Department of Health helped write that guidance.
I would just try to set that as the expectation, even though you can't mandate it right now. As many people as have masks on, that's very important. Like I said, with physical spacing, let's do as much as we can. And that's kind of in general. Let's do as many of these measures as we can while still having an effective educational setting.
As of right now, only students 12 and up are eligible to get vaccinated, but it will take some work to get the mask mandate ban amended before school begins. The proposal will need at least 2/3 support in both chambers of the legislature. Little Rock police have identified the victim in a homicide on Chenal Parkway Saturday morning. Police say 22-year-old James Reed was shot and killed at Chenal Lakes Apartments. When officers arrived around 1:20 Saturday morning, they found Reed inside a van that had several bullet holes and broken glass. Detectives interviewed witnesses, but no arrests have been made. The Senate introduced the text of the roughly $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill last night. A bipartisan group of senators hammered out the final details of that bill, which could be passed this week. Natalie Brand has more details from Capitol Hill.
The Senate is on track to vote on the roughly $1 trillion infrastructure bill this week after weeks of negotiations.
Given how bipartisan the bill is and how much work has already been put in to get the details right, I believe the Senate can quickly process relevant amendments and pass this bill in a matter of days.
The bill includes $110 billion to fix roads and bridges, $39 billion for public transit, $65 billion to expand broadband internet access, and $55 billion to upgrade the water systems. The bipartisan legislation does not raise any new taxes, but is paid for largely by redirecting unused COVID relief money and by enforcing tax laws, including on cryptocurrencies.
This is a bill which is paid for and that gives the American people they desperately need, and that is an upgrade in our infrastructure.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says as soon as the physical infrastructure bill is passed, Democrats will take up the $3.5 trillion budget resolution focused on what they're calling human infrastructure, such as child care.
If the Senate does not pass the reconciliation bill, we will uphold our end of the bargain and not pass the bipartisan bill until we get all of these investments in.
Some moderate Democrats say the House should vote on physical infrastructure regardless of the reconciliation bill.
I've always believed that everything should rise or fall on its own merits.
Democrats need the support of moderates such as West Virginia's Joe Manchin and Arizona's Kyrsten Sinema to pass the reconciliation bill in the Senate without GOP support. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Senator Sinema has said she's open to the budget bill, but not at the current $3.5 trillion price tag, while Senator Manchin says he's worried about more debt contributing to inflation.